Welcome to the Real Academy, brought to you each Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time by the
Systems Doctors,
Dr. Sheka Houston and Dr. Tammy Taylor, best-selling authors, consultants, and speakers of Create and Educate LLC. Create and Educate LLC is an educational consultant and literary firm that provides professional development to schools and community. Their goal is to transform organizations with the REALL Resilience Framework used to increase their school report card grades 2 and 3 grade levels in 1 year. REAL stands for Respect, Excellence, Accountability, Literacy, and Leadership. This framework is used to coach leaders and teachers and build student efficacy while putting systems in place that aligns the work of the school improvement, making the process manageable. When the work is manageable, teachers and leaders don't stress out or burn out.
the Systems Doctors
Alignment systems are designed to help schools evolve and grow, all while instituting protocols and processes designed to promote collaboration and collegiality. The implementation of the alignment framework prevents some of the most common problems in education, where leaders sometimes aren't sure where to start, or in our new age of educating, leaders need a trusted sounding board that allows them to be vulnerable and transparent, preventing loneliness at the top. The framework doesn't just help leaders, but also prevents teachers from burning out from too many initiatives and embracing teachers as they are the experts. Finally, the framework extends to the children, helping them get engaged in school and solving a nationwide problem. Alignment systems are frequently referred to as a key element of success in the improvement process. In the sport of rowing, all rowers must put their oars in the water, succinctly creating a system for their boat to reach maximum speed. So schools that want to improve are bringing in
the Systems Doctors
to teach them all about the alignment systems that must be in place for school improvement to be accomplished at high levels. The dynamic duo provides insights into educational topics through their international platform, which includes educators, parents, and community members as a way to support important entities that make communities thrive. This is their way to pay it forward and provide the support they needed through their platform. Take a look. People who work with the
Systems Doctors
describe them as an excellent and inspiring group of leaders. They get into the weeds of work with leaders through their TrustMate Institute that you should contact them about today by filling out the contact form on their website.
Happy Super Saturday, everyone. Welcome to the Real Academy, brought to you by Create and Educate with your very own Systems DoctHers. I am Dr. Sheka Houston.
And I am Dr. Tammy Taylor. Good morning.
Good morning. And this episode probably will seem like deja vu to you all, but last week, due to the Hurricane Helena, am I saying it right? Helene. Due to Hurricane Helene, even though I was at my mom's, we had a power surge and the power went out. So we dropped the episode last week in the middle of the episode. So we are having to redo that episode because we had to take that one down. So we will be repeating last week, but we didn't finish. So some of it will be new information for those of you that are our regular Real fam. But thank you all for joining us again for another episode of the Real Academy. Please share, like, subscribe, do all the things on the different platforms to help those algorithms get us to more people, and do not keep us all to yourselves. We are pre-recorded today. Tammy has little Miss Abby today. So we are pre-recorded, so we won't be putting up the comments or doing our regular real shout outs, but we definitely want to show you what our systems doctors in action in just a moment. If this is your first time joining us, we are practitioners who help schools and school districts um, help their schools to improve. Tammy and I were able to use our REAL framework to improve our schools. 2 report card grade levels at one in 1 year at my middle school, 3 report card grade levels in 1 year at Tammy's elementary school. So that work is work that we're passionate about. We know that it can be very daunting work. So the systems that we have developed are things that help leaders get to the end, see the light at the end of the tunnel a lot sooner and with a lot less stress and burnout, especially because we've been through the whole process already. So we know how to tell you how to avoid some of those pitfalls and get people behind you a little bit sooner than if you were just trying to figure things out on your own. So if that is any of the work that you need, just fill out the contact form on our website and we will definitely be in touch with you. So as I was saying, this is our systems doctors in action with our announcements, and Tammy's going to get us started.
Absolutely. And I want to just make sure to echo what Sheka said about the work. The work won't be easy, but having thought partners and being able to critically think about what's happening in your school and what you need to do to move it comes from the working with people who have gone through that process. And for us, we didn't have anyone but each other. So we know how that feels, and we want that to be something that we're able to share across the systems that we work through. And we're super excited again to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month from September 15th through October 15th. Hispanic Heritage Month is celebrated to honor all of our Hispanic brothers and sisters in education in every aspect of life who are making and have made significant contributions. And we want to just celebrate with them this morning and honor them again for Hispanic Heritage Month. We are also very stoked and just continue to be blown away by the work that we're able to do with our districts that we're working with. And a special shout out to all of the administrators in Marion County, to Dr. Candace Bethay, who is a superintendent extraordinaire. And we so appreciate her and the support that she provides as she entrusts her leadership to us. And we take that very, very seriously. And each time that we get the opportunity to go and share with those educators in Marion, it just makes the work we do worth doing. So shout out to all of the Marion County administrators, Dr. Holcomb, Dr. Bunch, and Dr. Bethay. We want to just again say thank you for your support and confidence in the work that we do with your administrators. And then, as always, we want to invite you, if you are in need of a sisterhood and you are interested in becoming a part of something that is larger than yourself, please consider being a part of the Build My Sister initiative that Create and Educate is very proud to sponsor. So if you're interested at all in becoming a part of Build My Sister, please look for the details. You can find all of the information regarding Build My Sister on our website and other social media platforms to connect with us to become a part of that amazing work. We're very, very proud of that.
Most definitely. And we are very pleased to announce that the Virgin Islands School of Technical Studies is our newest pilot school for one of our newest offerings, and that's the Real Me for Girls. This is a K 12 empowerment program. We are super excited about the work that we're doing with Principal Rogers out there, and just excited to get their feedback. They have been very pleased with the program so far. So, if empowering young ladies, and we know that I think I just saw an article about the bias that exists in schools with the discipline of African American girls, and you all have heard us talk about the adultification of black girls before in school, where they are seen as more adult like than their actual ages and treated differently than some of their counterparts. This type of program really is helpful to not just the young ladies who participate, but even the facilitators of the program. So if you need information about that, just contact us again on our website. It includes Create and Educate's five super strengths, with which is a culturally relevant and social and emotional learning framework. And we also are super excited to announce that the first two books in our five-book series of Amir's Awakening is they're finished. The illustrations are finished for those books. So those will be coming to you very soon. Amir's Awakening, his amazing journey to ancient Egypt from classroom to consciousness. And Elizabeth and Isabella, Are You Still Fighting? And for those of you who tune in with us regularly, know that those are my daughter's names. So we are super excited about the project, and the other books in the series should be finishing soon. But we're excited to bring you that and to be a part of the work where we're adding to the representation of African Americans and our topics to be included in the work of children's books that is not represented at very high rates in children's books. So, as a part of our partnership, our topic for today deals with social and emotional development. And we have a partnership with PAIR, with Dr. Gil Nome, who is from the Harvard Medical University in Massachusetts. And he has done phenomenal work. We were actually able to do some of the work with the school leaders in Marion about social and emotional development. But he offers free books, his book 10 Big Bets, through us. We were able to gift them that book, but he also has the holistic student assessment that gives you great data about the needs of your students. So it is a strengths-based assessment that helps you understand student voice and helps you to really meet the needs of your students' development in that area. So that brings us to our topic for today, episode 164, Systems of Social and Emotional Development. And as you all know, we have three systems of respect, excellence, and leadership. And we believe that it is put best in place through effective messaging plus effective processes equals success over refinement. And as you all know, that this topic lands on the door of our framework, which is respect.
Absolutely. And a part of the respect and the framework, as Sheka mentioned before, the end result is success over refinement, because you're constantly going back to the drawing board, you're reflecting, you're taking out that mirror that Principal Kafele teaches us to keep with us. You're taking out your mirror and constantly reflecting. And one of the things that we have to continuously go back to is the piece of respect. And that's the reason that it opens the door to everything else for us. And one thing that I think Sheka emphasizes this when we're working on this part of the framework. This is not new information. This is very relevant information, but this is information that has been on the scene for a while. You have to have a strong relationship in order for you to gain trust so that students are able and willing to take risks and to develop a growth mindset and for them to ultimately be able to learn and grow. And this comes from work that Dr. James P. Comer did many, many years ago. And he coined that quote. He says that no significant learning can occur without a significant relationship. In order for you to be able to connect with students, you have to have a relationship. And that is very important to us because those relationships truly do impact what's happening in schools.
Most definitely, Tammy. And as we worked with our last district around this topic, there were really some great key points that came out of that. And the first one is that only 29% of students describe the school as a caring environment. And so when we looked at this information, we wanted, and we want you all to see as well, um, if this is how students feel in school, what we just showed a moment ago, where that relationship builds the trust, builds on to students being willing to be feel like they're in a safe space to take academic risk to get to growth and development and learning. If we only have 29% of students that feel like their environment is caring, we never get to even the first mark of that framework that we put up. So they don't feel connected to people, their peers, their teachers. And so these things have to be cultivated. And we work with a lot of different schools and districts and systems. And what we're seeing in a lot of spaces is that it's not being cultivated. You know, we have people who are putting up their learning targets, they're teaching the standards, but before we ever get to that, you have to be intentional about making sure you are connecting with your students and helping them to connect to the school and one another. And that's things like that don't happen by chance. We have to create those opportunities for those things to happen in schools.
And the sadder part of when we think about this particular statistic is what about the other 71% of the children? You know they are not connected. So you're talking about children being in a place and they're with us more than they are at home during the week. So you're talking about children being in a place where they don't even feel like this place cares about what's happening with me or
Hmm.
what I need, or, and again, as Shika said, that comes from those relationships being secure and a child knowing, you know what, he gets on me really hard, he holds my tail accountable, my feet are held to the fire, but I know that he cares about me. That's the kind of relationship you want to form with your students, with your administrators, with your guidance counselors, with your related arts people. That's the environment that you want to cultivate in your school. You want the entire learning environment to be one that's caring. I love seeing my custodian get on children for running down the hall. Nope, go back and walk back. You know why? Because she cares about what's happening with them. You want that to be how the feeling tone of your school is. It's a caring place, and you want children to know that.
Most definitely. And being connected, I'm glad you brought that story up. Extends beyond the classroom. We had a counselor, a speaker come talk to our counselors, and she talked about how she remembered being in school having really bad problems that she had to go talk with someone about, but she said that it was embarrassing to her to have to go down to the counselor's office because it was almost like she described it as like a blinking sign, like with counselor on it. So, like a stigma that, oh, she's going to the counselor every day at the same time. So, what's wrong with her? And she said that really, if they really wanted her to open up, because she said she never did, they should have took her down to the cafeteria to talk to the lady in the cafeteria because that's who she felt like cared about her at the school the most because the cafeteria worker would always say, hey baby, how you doing? And give her extra food. Look like you need more food today. But that's the person who she was connected with at the school. So a lot of times we don't ask children the right questions. Who is your person at the school? Because sometimes it might not be the teacher, it might not be the counselor, it might not be the principal. It
That's
might be the custodian and the lady in the cafeteria.
absolutely. And I'm excited to know that children do see that because
Mhm.
at our school, my cafeteria manager will call down to the office in a minute, Dr. Taylor, and we'll call them by name. I need you to come down here, or somebody needs to come over here and get Sheka because she out of
Mhm.
control. She need to feel
Exactly.
better.
Exactly.
It's that kind of cultivation that I think will get us to that continuum that you mentioned,
Mhm.
of having a relationship, that relationship being built on trust and
Mhm.
the support that the adult can offer. And then that leading to a different mindset about, I'm showing up here every day and I'm not doing my best, but I got these people who are really pouring into me. Maybe I can change
Mhm.
the way that I approach things, which ultimately leads to something different for them, to be able to learn and grow.
Most definitely. And I think the last statistic that we put up correlates with this one. Over 40% of students are chronically disengaged in school. And so that means that if they are not connected, then we're not engaged in anything. If I can't connect to something in this place to a person who will be able to help me to see how this is relevant to my life, why this is important, I never check in. So, this is why we're having all of the issues that we're having in schools with behavior. And, people are saying, well, kids just aren't motivated anymore. And really, we come from an era where we were compliant in school. And I don't think that children now are looking for compliance. They're looking for, why do I need this? And nobody can answer the question. And if you can't answer the question, we got to do something different. Because that means you don't even know. So we've got to be able to show children why we're doing what we're doing and how it relates to them. And you got to know them to be able to do that. I got to know what you want to be in your life or how you see yourself or what you're interested in, what your goals are or your if you don't have any goals as your teacher, I need to be able to connect your favorite subject to, oh, well, you might be interested in this if you really like science. That is what connectivity is.
Right. And I think that that's important to really hone in on when you're talking about engagement, because what you don't want to get caught up on are activities that
Hmm.
make you think that kids are engaged. They will participate
Right.
in what those activities are, and you might have them up and moving, but that
Hmm.
does not mean that they've engaged in school. And what
Right.
we want is what you just described, a connection so strong
Mhm.
that whether they're sitting at their seat, working independently on something, they are fully engaged in school and what they're doing. So I think we're going to have to even reframe the way we think about what engagement is. And I love something that you said the other day, that we can't just keep talking about engagement.
Mhm. We can. And another thing that was a point that was brought up, and this came from industry. The largest skill gaps aren't technical, but the ability to work with others. And this just really helps hone in on why this is important and why we have to cultivate this in our classrooms and in our schools. Because what employers are saying is, to be honest, we can teach them what they need to know to be successful on their jobs. What we really need is for them to be able to know how to connect with people and get along with one another and work with one another. And that is what they are not seeing. So when we talk about our relationship with industry and what the needs of industry are, this is the biggest gap that they are seeing. And social and emotional development helps us to fill this gap.
Absolutely. And what you have to know is a part of the work that we do or we have to do is, yes, our job is to get them ready academically, but we're also responsible for helping them to be good people, people
Mhm.
who know how to relate to other people who care about other people. And I hear you, people who are naysayers saying that's what their parents supposed to teach them at home.
Oh gosh, those
But
those people.
what we want you to know is, yes, parents are always the first teachers. You
Mhm.
you you are spot on with that. But guess what we are?
Mm.
We are in locos parentis.
Yes,
And
we are.
when they're with us, you know what we're doing? We're helping them to be good people. We're helping them to know how to get along. We're helping them to know how to work alongside someone and support them and not just go run renegade off to yourself doing your own thing. You have
Right.
to teach people how to be able to work well together. And I'll give you a case in point. My nephew, Kendall, is a welder and he does absolutely phenomenally, much better than Aunt Tammy, just to be completely honest. But you know what makes Kendall as successful a welder as he is? He knows how to get along with people. You know what
Mhm.
they taught him down? And I'm very proud to say, shout out Javonda, Chester County Career Center prepared
Mhm.
for being able to work with other people. Everybody loves him. Why? He knows how to do what needs to be done and he has the skill set to do it, but he also knows how to be a part of the team.
And we are out of time, but the last point is that SEL initiatives help students score 11 percentile points higher on achievement tests. And this is for all of those people who feel like, well, we don't have time to do SEL because we got to make sure the kids can pass the test. Well, if that's the goal, then this will help you with that goal. And you
Which
can't
makes
get
it worth
there.
it, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
you can't get there like we showed you with the graphic unless you have a relationship anyway. So you can do all the teaching that you want to do. If there is no relationship, it does not matter.
And
So
it's
we
gonna
gotta,
frustrate you because you're gonna be like,
right, we gotta start with the work in the right places. So thank you all for joining us. Please join Principal Kafele next, and we will see you all next Saturday. Join Josh on Sunday, and right back here on Super Saturday, starting off with Principal Hurt and us Create and Educate second next Saturday. Thank you all.
thank you. And before we close out, thank y'all for prayers because we saw a lot of y'all saying that y'all were thinking about us with the storm. We got our internet back up and running, and we're getting the last people are supposed to be getting phone service. So thank you all for your thoughts
And
in
prayers
the
for
aftermath of the storm.
yeah, prayers for everyone who's been impacted.
Absolutely. From
Thank
us.
you.